Hello YouTube and welcome back to Fire Gaming Project. So in this short video, I will be doing a Mona review, and not just any Mona review, it will be a C6 Mona review. I actually just did the Abyss for this run of the cycle, and in that Abyss I actually said, and I said previously that I don't have a C6 5-star character, but that's actually not true anymore. I do, and Mona is my first C6 5-star character, and it happened actually really recently. I think it happened earlier this week or at the end of last week. So that's why I completely forgot when I said that earlier. But anyway, here she is, yes. And so because she's a standard character, she will not appear on any limited banners, only the standard banner, and therefore I never did really much reviews of any of the other standard characters as well. So those I think will be coming in the future. I'm not going to say coming soon because I don't know when I'll do them, but eventually I'll do them. So anyway, yeah, I just posted some rerun reviews for Venti and Klee. Do check those out as well. As I mentioned just now, I also did the current cycle of the Abyss as well. So do check out those videos as well. And please make sure that you guys are subscribed, hit the like thumbs up for me, and that'll be really helpful. And hit the comments, leave me some comments and questions as well. And also feel free to join my Discord server and feel free to connect with myself and other members there. Yeah, so let's get to it, shall we? All right. So, first I'll just show you her current build. Now I want to make it very clear here, I don't actually use her that much. So this hasn't really changed, but I did rebuild her. I think maybe last month or a few months ago, let's say, when I was collecting items and artifacts, etc. So I just decided to rebuild her. This healing bonus is just because of elemental resonance, so don't worry about that. She does scale off of energy recharge somewhat, so therefore it's still important to have that high. And although I do not use her as a damage sub DPS or DPS. That's why my title of this video is support. But it's okay to have her crit and her crit decently high as well if you can. Some people do use her that way, so that's why. Her hydro bonus, damage bonus is high, but it could be probably higher. Weapon. I'll be honest, her best in-slot weapon is actually not Oathsworn Eye, it's actually the Witsith. But as you can see on the screen here, and for those of you who have followed me, I gave it to Yaimiko instead, and I instead did not bother rebuilding a new Witsith for Mona, because I don't really use her as I just said. And as we just cleared the Enkanomiya event earlier this patch in 2.5, as of the timing of this video, we got this 2.5 event weapon, Oathsworn Eye, and I gave this to her instead. And arguably, the Oathsworn Eye is actually most suitable for her because she does scale off of energy recharge to a degree, right? So that's why it's most suitable, but Oathsworn Eye is a really universal weapon. I've done several videos about it before already, so do check those out as well. But yeah, it's still a very universal weapon that most Catalyst users can really benefit from, but definitely in this case, because I, of course, during the event period, we get the 1.5 times experience bonus, and we get it to R5, so obviously, it was cheaper for resource-wise to do it then, so obviously I leveled it up to R5 and level 90, and since it was leveled up already, and I took away her weapon, I gave it to her. So this one is a really good weapon. Now, for those of you hanging around since at 1.6, if you have the Dodoko Tails, this is also decently good for her too, but this is more of a damage-focused weapon. Yeah, they're both attack, of course, but this one's like the passive is more for like if you were to use her for normal and charge attacks, which you can, of course. Now, for those of you who are building her in a sub DPS or DPS role, you can definitely consider the Lost Prayers or any of the 5-star catalysts. I'm not going to go into them because I'll be honest, I don't think that any of them are really the must-have for her. I don't think that she has like a must. People say that Skyward Atlas is actually her best 5-star, and the Skyward series is a really good universal 5-star series, but I wouldn't even say that that's like her best, but sure, that's actually a very good weapon for her for sure. I don't have one, as you can see, but that one would be a very good weapon for her as well. And Skyward Atlas, I believe I did compare that or talk about that in my video when I talked about Oathsworn Eye as well, so do check that out. So I'll leave it there for those portions. Now, again, if you're using her in a DPS or sub DPS role, then of course Solar Pearl, the Battle Pass weapon, and the Witsith, as I mentioned earlier, are also good. But the Witsith is special because even though it has a crit damage and it is a damage-focused weapon for the substat, the passives are also damage-focused, but they are also beneficial for her. All three of them apply for her, and that's why the Witsith is also really good for her. So that would give her kind of like a hybrid role, like she can be a support DPS, really. So that's okay too. Now, some people do use the sacrificial fragments on her. Nothing wrong with that. But it's just that sacrificial fragments is best in slot for Sucrose. So unless you have extra ones lying around or you don't have the other mentioned weapons here to give to Mona, then I don't think that this is like her best choice. Some people do give her the Thrilling Tales to swap her in and out to give the next character the 48% attack bonus. That's okay too, but there are other characters that could utilize that better that actually want the HP substat, for example, Kokomi or Barbara. So again, if you have other characters that can utilize it better, then maybe it's better meant for those characters. The Hakushin Ring is a very special weapon. Some people really hate this. I know M-Tashed really hated this when it first came out. I don't know if he's since changed his mind, but that's fine. I'm not here to say this is good or bad, but I will say that other players out there, YouTubers and streamers, have tested this out on her, and it's not bad because of the energy recharge substat. It's pretty good on Mona specifically, and although it's for elemental reaction with Electro, she can definitely be part of a taser team, and that would be really useful as well. But this is not a must-have and not a must-craft weapon for her, though. Again, the Osworn Eye is easily better or equivalent, and many people have tested it out. Osworn Eye is very comparable to the Dodoko Tails and the Hakushin Ring with given the right parameters. Elemental Mastery again for Mappa Mare. Again, this is not necessary, but this could be a placeholder, especially if you're earlier in the game or newer to the game and you did get her. Whether from the standard polls or from losing 50-50 or even from the Noel banner from the earlier game. And then if you say your earlier game and you don't have any of the other mentioned event weapons, of course, or you because your early game maybe you didn't get to Inazuma yet, so you can't get this Oathsworn Eye. So then then maybe the Mappa Mare would be an okay placeholder for now. Yeah. And then Favonius Codex is a very universal weapon, of course. Energy recharge you'll benefit from. It's universal overall. The passive does need crit to proc. So, but she doesn't have major energy issues to begin with, but it's nice to get the extra energy from proccing the crit hits. Frostbearer, again, is not a craftable weapon that many people crafted and decided to go for. I'm just working on craftables, that's all. But then other than that, this could be okay if you want to like do some freezing with her because it can proc a cryo passive and she's hydro, obviously, so that can cause a freeze reaction. But again, I don't think that this is like a necessary one to get her, but you could try it out if you want to, out of interest. And Blackcliff, again, is a really good placeholder weapon once again, and it's a good stat stick, so to speak. The passive is okay, but it's not sustainable. And for her, if you don't build her that way, where she can kill off enemies really quickly, then you won't get the bonus from the passive. So again, just to summarize, Osworn Eye is a really great weapon, and then Hakushin Ring is okay too. And then, of course, Witsith is really great for her overall, and Favonius is fine as well. And then you can, in my opinion, you don't need to give her a 5-star weapon unless you use her a lot or plan to increase and enhance her damage, then sure, go for it. Artifact-wise, now, there are many ways to build her. You could do the Hydro set. You can do 2-piece or 4-piece with that, which totally makes sense, right? You could also, you could also do like energy recharge, like you can do a 2-piece emblem and 2-piece like Hydro set. That's okay. But I've decided to give her a 4-piece emblem because, as you can see, she'll get the benefit of the energy recharge for the 2-piece, and then for the 4-piece, her elemental burst is a big portion of her damage. And if I'm roughing up her energy recharge anyway, then might as well try to get the extra damage bonus from her energy recharge as well. So that's the only reason why I chose to do it that way. No right or wrong, but whatever you prefer, and of course based on RNG and whatever you ended up pulling. And getting, right, that you're willing to give to her. Of course, Hydro bonus for this piece, and I did put attack here. Some people would have put energy recharge here to really buff that out. That's okay too, or elemental mastery, sure. But I wanted to just leave it as attack, and as you can see, I did have some like minor energy recharge and elemental mastery on the bottom. These are not the greatest pieces, I was make that clear. And I did give her crit rate here. So I kind of built her kind of sub DPS-ish, but I really only use her as a support. That's why the title of this video is support though, so yeah. Constellations. So you might be wondering why do I have her C6, but it's pretty obvious. I've been playing since near the launch. I played after the Venti banner ended or near the end of that. And I have been polling on the banners, of course, standard and limited. And she is a standard 5-star character, so she will appear on all the banners. Let's be real here. If you lose the 50/50 on any of the featured limited 5-star banners, you might have a chance to get her, or of course other standard 5-star characters or weapons potentially. No, sorry, characters. Yeah, and then on the standard banner, you have a chance to get her or the standard 5-star weapons or the other standard 5-star characters. So it's like a tongue twister. I keep saying standard 5-star. Anyway, and then on the weapon banner, there is an off chance that you might get her or any other standard character. I think the weapon banner works that way because sometimes you can get characters on the standard banner. Very rarely, but sometimes you do. But I don't know. I could be wrong on that. But regardless, she appears. Okay, so constellation-wise, I will say she's one of the earlier original characters, so her constellations may no longer be as meta or relevant to the current game. However, I think that her constellations are pretty good though. So overall. Um, so anyway, so C1, basically when any of your own party members hits the opponent affected by her Omen, which is her Q burst, the effects of the Hydra-related reactions are as follows for 8 seconds. So basically you just get a damage bonus for those associated reactions. So that's not bad, right? C2, when a normal attack hits, there's a 20% chance, so it's not really high, it's 1 in 5, right? That it will automatically be followed by a charge attack that's automatic. So that's okay. Not bad. It's extra damage, it's extra hit. C3, obviously plus 3 levels. This is for her Q burst, I believe. No, the Phantasm is her her elemental skill. C4, when any party member attacks an opponent affected by the Omen from her Q burst, then their crit rate is going to be increased. So that's a good support constellation. Again, none of these constellations are required, by the way. They're decent. They're not like super good. They're no longer as relevant because she is one of the original characters, but they have some good use to them. C5, this is the one on the mirror. Hang on, I want to double check. Is that what it is? Oh, sorry, the mirror is her E. So let me go back. So the C3 is actually her, the Phantasm is her Q burst. I was right originally, and I changed it. Okay. This one is her E, her elemental skill, plus 3 levels. Then the last one here, upon entering her illusory torrents, which is basically from her Q, I believe. It's a state. Mona gains 60% increase to the damage of her next charge attack. Okay. And a maximum damage bonus of 180 can be achieved this way, so that's cool. Okay. And then talent-wise, I don't necessarily use her normal attack, so I don't know why I leveled this up to 8. I could have left this at 6. Or even lower, but you know, if for those of you who like using her, you could definitely bring this up, and you know, she has her uses for normal attack. Any catalyst user has their uses for normal attack because they consistently throw out elemental energy, right? So that's fine. Okay, so then her E and her Q, I recommend prioritizing. I don't know why they always put her special dash here. Her and Ayaka, they put it here in the 3rd slot, but anyway, it always throws me off. This is just this is not even a skill. This is just her like turning into like water. This one, definitely her Q is a lot of damage. It's good multiplier, as you can see. It's 841%. At level 8, this is plus 3 levels, so it's a level 11. I did not level her further because I don't use her, but if I was to, I could bring her to 999, and that would be okay. I would not crown her, though, because I don't use her. And then this one is okay, too. It's a nice taunt, and it has extra damage potential. I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to read all the descriptions here, but they're pretty good overall. This one, after she uses the illusory torrents for 2 seconds, if there are any opponents nearby, Mona will automatically create another phantom, and the phantom created in this manner will last for 2 seconds only, so it's short, and its explosion will be 50% of the mirror. And then this one increases her hydro damage bonus by a degree equivalent of 20% of her energy, so it's still a scaling, but not high, but it's still a decent scaling of her energy. And the last one, when she crafts weapon ascension materials, there's a 25% chance that she'll get a refund. Now, there are other characters out there that have better you know, crafting talents. So I would say this is okay, but there are better ones out there. For example, Albedo, Sucrose, Eula, they have better talents. Just leave it at that. So let's get to it, shall we? So I'm going to, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to shield her, and then I'm going to use Xingqiu to help me break his shield, and then technically she can break the shield too, but I just figured I'll just use hers. Yeah. So yeah, like she has all like pretty good uses, right? You know, so like that's pretty solid. Now this is the Omen thing is actually better used when you're attacking like you know, a group of enemies as well, because it can like kind of temporarily, I wouldn't say it immobilizes them, but it catches them in like the little mirror thing, the stand. Yeah. And you know, like she's not like the best, of course, as you can see. She's not like doing super great here, but I'm gonna try to give her some reaction bonus damage as well. Oops. Like this is meant to just show, it's not meant to like kill this off or like be really whatever. But yeah, like she, you know, has her uses and you know, she has pretty good like reactions and stuff. So overall, she's still a very useful character, I will say. I wouldn't suggest like going hard and heavy for her, but you know, eventually if you play the game long enough, you might end up getting more constellations for her or any of the other standard characters. So she's still a very decent support character, and of course she's very good at applying Hydro. Of course now there's Kokomi, which is on the current banner. There's other characters with Hydro such as Child and Xingqiu, and Ayato is coming in the next patch, right? And of course Barbara is always there too. But I will say Mona has her purposes, and she's still a pretty good character and unit. But I would say because now we're later in the game, we're no longer in the beginning, so the use for the standard original characters is much lower now, so I'll just keep that at that. Of the remaining standard characters, just as an aside, I think Jean, in my opinion, is still like the best. Yeah. So anyway, I will leave it there. Hopefully you'll enjoy this video, and I just kind of wanted to make this video only because I actually got her at C6, so I wanted to kind of showcase it. It didn't really make more difference for me because I don't really use her. However, she's still a very good character overall. I recently just posted a Venti review and a Klee review. Do check those out, and I did do the recent cycle of the Abyss as well. So please check those out and feel free to subscribe, hit the like button, comment, leave me questions, and feel free to join my Discord, and the link is in the description. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys.